to today's episode, and I'm very, very excited about what we'll be talking about today, guys. This is going to be something that I feel is going to tug at everybody's heartstrings. Okay, maybe that's a little dramatic. Maybe it's really not, but still, it's going to be a good show today. So first off, hello, Chris. Hello, Eric. Thank you for joining me once again. Appreciate you guys being here today.
Hello.
Yeah, I was going to say, you guys can say hi. It's okay, you can talk now. I turned your mics on, you guys can talk. But what I want to do first is I want to get into our sponsor before we get going on tonight's episode. And it's a little special tonight because it's actually, if you've listened to any of our episodes, you know we always have basically fake. It's been fake to at least us, a fake sponsor because we're still looking for sponsorships. So, yeah, we have a shtick. But we're looking for a sponsor. If you want to sponsor us, hey, give us a quick email, and we'll be happy to talk with you. But it's always been Uncle Pete's whatever, okay? And technically, my son comes up. I let my 11-year-old son, come up with these, and I just kind of plop them in, just for S&Gs. But tonight is brought to you by Uncle Pete's hand sanitizer, which is a real product. It is sold locally here at our at NutriShop in New Hartford. If you're looking for any hand sanitizer, because, hey, you know what? People still kind of need it. COVID's still out there. People are still, disinfecting their hands and, wanting some nice, not lotion, but hand sanitizer. Go talk to Brandon over at the NutriShop, because let me tell you, he's got gallon jugs. He's got little, the little ones. He's got a gallon jug. I mean, you'll never run out of hand sanitizer if you stop over at the NutriShop. So, but I want to say, I'm very excited to say we are brought to you by Uncle Pete's Hand Sanitizer, and I'm just mad I wasn't able to get out to get one before today's show. So, I don't know.
For what it's worth, we're still not making any actual money from it, though.
Yes, we're not making any money from this, but you know what? It's just funny that it actually turned out that way. I saw the picture on Instagram, and I was like, holy cow, that's hilarious. So,
it's a real thing. It's a real product.
So I just had to bring that up. It's a real product. So Uncle Pete's, hey. We're here. We're talking about you pretty much every single episode.
We should reach out.
Oh, yeah. You don't think I'm going to tag them in this? Absolutely tagging them in this. So that's definitely a hashtag goal. Hashtag Uncle Pete's Hand Sanitizer. So anyways, going back, I kind of opened the show a little differently today because today we are talking about maybe some of your most favorite movie quotes. It could be your favorite, what we're going to bring up. It's honestly, though, it's our favorite movie quotes and kind of just, different things that we've kind of seen throughout our years growing up in the movies and the quotes that inspire us that, that still come back, it just, I don't even know how to say it. It just comes back at that brief moment. It's like, someone says something and you got the quote. Or it's like maybe something that you kind of live by as you grew up. So we're going to get into this. We've got Chris has his own quotes, Eric has his own quotes, I have my own quotes, and we have not shared them. No one knows anybody else's quote. I hope I didn't take anybody's by doing the Good Morning Vietnam intro. So if I did, I apologize. It was not intentional, and I did think about it, but I will say that did not make my list.
Fair enough. And for what it's worth, we each came up with 7 that we're going to list off, and they're in no particular order.
Yes.
I also want to say, I limited myself to mostly like one-liners. I didn't want to get into like a big like speech, for like that type of thing. So there are some that I really enjoy, like some longer ones I really enjoy like that, but I limited it to more of like a sentence or two type of situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine for the most part, a lot of mine are like 5 words or less, to be honest.
Right, yeah.
And I failed miserably. I have 2 that are at least 3 or 4 lines at least on my piece of paper.
How dare!
But one of them might make it. One of them might make it.
It might make it. You still haven't narrowed it down to your 7.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it's number 7 is one of them. I can change it. Hold on, I got a pen.
You're good.
I also like limited mine to like no sort of setup too, like. Just for example, a quote from a movie that is not on my list, but I really enjoy is the movie, I don't know if you've ever seen it, Cobra with Sylvester Stallone. It's an 80s action flick. And just to give you some context.
Well, you said Stallone, so I assumed it was.
Well, he's still making movies now.
He's still going.
He's killing it.
Let me tell you, that guy, he doesn't stop.
But the opening scene in the movie, they're in a supermarket. and this guy's taking the supermarket like hostage, and he's got a bomb, and the guy's like, "I'm gonna blow this place up," and Stallone says, "Go ahead, I don't shop here," So like something like. While I love that quote, I was like, well, I don't want to have to explain the whole thing, even though I just did. But just
I would say you just did.
Yeah.
It's kind of the whole point of this, isn't it?
There you go. I mean, you shine. So Chris's number 7 is Cobra.
Well, that's number 8.
that's an honorable mention. Honorable mention. Go ahead.
We'll start off with it.
Go ahead. I don't shop here.
Go ahead. I don't shop here. Could you imagine someone today is like, "So no, I'm going to take over a supermarket." That's the plan. That's like the weakest place you could take over.
Well, if you got to see it,
It's got everything you need.
I mean, that's the perfect target, though, right? I mean, it's got no security per se. They got how many cash registers?
Yeah, but I mean, you've got to hit it at the right time. Like you got to do it like during Thanksgiving or one of the. You got to do it on a holiday, or otherwise, you may have 20 people in the store.
It might have been 4th of July. I don't know.
What's that going to do? Well, okay, grilling. That's a popular food day. So
yeah,
I don't know. I think there's better targets. But.
You know what the really sad thing about that
Here we go.
line
Better
is?
Target's supermarket.
Yeah, you can rob a Target,
I know.
right?
Okay.
We're gonna get flagged on some
Okay,
Target.
continue.
Target's
Chris,
good
go ahead.
target.
Chris, continue. This is getting crazy.
Well, I was just gonna say that like the crazy thing about that is like that line is so specific that you could only use it in that situation, and I like to this day I would love to have a situation where I could use that line, but it's just never come up.
We'll have to set him up one time, Eric. We're just going to all meet at the grocery store at one time and be like... Okay, well, Chris, you know what? You started us with your honorable mention that you weren't going to mention. So why don't we start off with you and you give us your...
Let's give you your actual mention.
Yeah, let's
All
do an actual mention. And are we doing this where you guys we're gonna read the line and we're gonna try and guess the movie first and then we'll go into the discussion, or are you just gonna tell us? What do we think about that?
Why don't we try to guess it?
I think let's give it a try. Let's see kind of how it goes. Yeah, let's see if we can guess it. If we're really all struggling,
Because I was
then,
gonna give I was gonna give you some setup, but I won't do that now. Right?
Yeah, let's see if we can just get the
All right.
line first, and then
Line
if we're
first, and then-
failing, we'll change it.
Okay.
Let's see if we
I'm
can
just gonna
not
read you the
fail
line
tonight.
then. Okay.
Okay. So
I've
Chris
got
is
it.
number 7. Here we go.
No, not number
Well,
7. No particular order.
No particular order,
Oh,
but
no
it is
okay.
number 7 for those keeping track. I've got a bad feeling about this.
Oh my gosh.
That could be quite a few movies.
I can
My
hear it over
guess
in my
is-
head, but for some reason...
It's
It's like I know it, but I don't.
do you
I
want a
can't think-
hint? Would you guys like to phone a
Yes.
friend?
Sure, we'll phone Chris.
Can I
Chris,
phone
go
Chris
ahead.
for a hint?
All right, so technically it's a line that appears throughout a series of movies.
What is it? Give me the line again. What was it?
I've got a bad feeling about this.
It's gonna annoy me when you tell me because I'm gonna be like,
a lot
I
of
know
these are
that.
gonna. Honestly, I'm gonna give my gut, and I know it's wrong, but the first thing that came to me was Ghostbusters. Don't know why. I don't think it's in there, but my mind went there first.
Definitely not.
It's not Ghostbusters.
It's definitely not.
No.
I
Would
know.
you like the answer?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Star Wars.
What? I've got a bad feeling about it.
Okay,
Is
so
that Han Solo's thing?
no. Well, he does say it, okay? But
Oh, okay,
throughout every it's said in basically every Star Wars movie. And it's like a running gag throughout the series.
Running gag.
Yeah.
That
Now
it's
that
just
you
in
say
there,
it,
okay.
yeah, that I mean, and if we're just gonna guess for Chris, we should just guess Star Wars anyway.
We should immediately. I don't even know why I doubted that.
We
yet.
should even waited for the line. We should have just yelled Star Wars.
Everything instantly Star Wars.
Well, I figured I'd get it out of the way right immediately, you know.
Okay. Well, you know what? You got us.
Right. So I mean, like, I didn't want to pick a bunch of quotes from Star Wars. So I figured, like, what is like the inside joke for Star Wars fans, and that's what I came up with. So,
I had a feeling you were gonna go something deep in it.
in Star Wars,
Like you weren't obviously gonna do the.
Oh, yeah,
No,
yeah.
I'm your. Or it's
Like the
it's
ob-
no, I'm your father, not Luke. I'm your father, right?
right? Exactly. Yeah, that's the line.
Everyone always says Luke though.
The Mandela effect thing going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so Chuck, why don't you give us yours?
Okay.
Dun dun dun.
Okay. So mine's gonna be. Man, Chris, why'd you have to get one that we couldn't guess? And I'm like kind of trying to pick one that's not gonna be easy to guess.
Well, I wasn't trying to stump you guys. I mean, it's just.
I know. But okay, I'm gonna just go at the very top of my list. This isn't my number one. This was technically in my list that I had as like my number 3. And I know we're just going
No
wherever,
particular order.
No
We're just gonna say
no
numbers
particular
off.
order, but I had this as like a number 3. So mine was Today We Fight in the Shade.
Ooh,
I got nothing.
No, really.
I mean, if you want to, if I'm gonna venture a guess, I'm gonna throw out something like Monty Python or something like that.
Okay, no, it's definitely not Monty Python.
Definitely not. So it's probably not even. Is not comedy.
It's not a comedy. Nope.
All right, I just give up.
I'll give you. Do you want me to give you a guess?
A guess.
I
No,
can
don't
give you
wanna guess.
a director guess.
A hint.
Maybe
You
this will
mean?
help. I can give you a hint, a guess, whatever you want. Which one do you want?
What do you? What?
Nothing.
Yeah,
Okay.
say-
Anyways, my guess hint is, it was directed by Frank Miller.
Sin City.
No. But he did do that one.
Yes, he did. Was it the one? Was it Spirit?
Nope.
Okay, then I'm out of Frank Miller movies.
Today We Fight in the Shade.
I got nothing.
What else did he do?
Good? Give up?
Give up.
Chris?
I give up. Yeah.
Okay.
We give up.
From the movie 300.
You know what? I knew you were gonna have a
You
300
should've-
one also.
you should've
Why am I
known,
not
yeah.
just like picking something that I know you guys are gonna have something from?
It was in 300. It was the battle where they were the oh god, I can't even think of the guy's name. But the evil king was coming, and he basically sent one of his goons up to sit there and say, either surrender now or our arrows will blot out the sun. And so then when he says the arrows will blot out the sun, the Spartans come back and say, well, then we will fight in the shade. And and then they shot their arrows, and then they all laugh at the end because they're like, hey, we really did fight in the shade. So, yeah, love that movie. Love it. That is honestly one of my top 3 movies, if not top 2. Watched it over and over and over. So
I didn't know Frank Miller did that for some reason.
Yeah.
well, there's other versions. There's actually my brother-in-law wanted to use that whole, because it was like a true event, just not the way Frank Miller presented it, obviously. But it was a whole historical thing that happened with the Spartans when they were trying to be taken over by this.
The Battle of Thermopylae.
Man, I forgot. Yeah. So they got into what they call the hot gates, and it was just basically a thin corridor where a good number of them could line up, and they just had lines and lines of them, and they fought for days and days, and they killed hundreds of the opposing kingdom, and the Spartans just kept fighting and fighting, but they did unfortunately lose in the end. But great movie, love it. Something I don't recommend for kids, but it's a really great movie. And like you said, Eric, Sin City, that was another. I was trying to think of something, but nothing really came to my mind for a quote for Sin City at this point, at least. But that was definitely also on my mind, was Sin City.
Big Frank Miller guy you are, huh?
Those two. I can't think of anything else I don't know if he's done anything else.
He's wrote a few Batman comics, and that's what a lot of The Dark Knight was inspired by.
Oh, well, maybe I am and I didn't even know it. So, okay, so now we kick it to you, Eric. Go ahead. Let's see if you can stump us. So we're
Since we're
batting
doing this
zero.
guesting, I'm going to go in a different order than I had to.
I know, it threw me off.
I think one of you will get this one though.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Well, that's just like your opinion, man.
I know what movie that is, and I can't think of it. Let me think.
I have no idea.
We are terrible at this. Can we stop this after this?
I know, this is terrible.
This is
We
most of the podcast is
suck.
just
Oh, wait. I got
don't
it.
know.
I got it.
You got
What
it?
is it? Okay, Chris,
Yeah.
go. Save us.
God, now the big. I was drawing a blank on the name of the movie, The Big Lebowski.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, woo! Ding, ding, ding. There it is.
Yes.
There's one.
Finally.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, I was like thinking about taking some quotes from that movie, but I decided against it, actually.
Oh, it was basically, I had to have one for that also, and is the dialogue about peeing on the rugs or this.
The rug really held the room together.
Exactly.
I've never seen The Big Lebowski.
Oh,
That was also
shucks.
just
I know. There's a lot of like movies that I guess I'm supposed to have seen that I have not seen.
yeah. It has so many good lines, just like this one that I always throw out there when someone says something. I'm just like, well, that's just your opinion, man.
Cool.
I like John Goodman in that movie. John Goodman.
He's the whole movie.
The whole
is so
cast.
good.
Yeah, the whole cast is amazing in that movie.
I'm gonna have to look this up and see because I want to
Put
see
it in the queue, Chuck.
What's that?
Thank you.
Yeah, I know in the queue, right? Yeah.
Find it streaming somewhere.
I'll write it down. So, Chris, you're up. Let's see. Let's try again guessing because we got one.
Are we-
1 out of 3. Let's
Okay.
try one more time. If we fail, then we'll move on. And the first thing I'm going to say, Chris, is Star Wars. So
No, I'll give you the hint. Yeah, I don't
Pretty
have any
perfect.
more from. Yeah.
We're trying not to double up here.
Okay, since we're trying to make it difficult, I guess I'm gonna go with this one. You go, we go.
What? You go.
Chuck, this game was a terrible idea.
Yeah.
I had the idea, but I'm like, it might go over bad. I'm not even going to suggest it. Leave it to you.
Oh, I got a real easy one. I got some easy ones. I'll just throw those out. I thought.
Oh yeah, I got some easy ones
All right.
here.
Say the line one more time.
You want me to like try to act it out like I'm in the movie?
Sure. Like, does it have physical actions, or is it
Yeah,
just
oh,
like
yeah.
you're going to say it
Yeah,
more?
imagine I'm hanging on to someone, and I'm hanging on to a broken catwalk, and I say, and the one guy says, "Let me go," and I say, "You go, we go." It's almost like something a firefighter would say.
Backdraft.
Backdraft.
Well, that's a firefighter movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I kind of gave it away there.
No, that's the answer, Chuck.
Oh. I was
that's
like,
the
yeah,
answer.
right. Backdraft. Yeah, right. My dad's favorite movie ever.
Your dad's favorite?
That is my dad's absolute favorite.
It's probably in my top 10. Like I love that movie so much. Yeah.
I have not seen it in forever.
My brother and I would sit and watch that movie all the time when we were kids.
Yeah,
Never
no,
seen it.
that was really good. See him because my dad's also a firefighter. That's why it's like one of his favorites. Just so like him watching that, he'd sit there and call out, "Oh, see, they didn't do this, so that's why it's gonna be a backdraft." And he was, but of course he's already seen the movie too, so he knew what was gonna happen. But yeah, no,
Right.
trying to teach me lessons like touch the doorknob before you just go randomly opening it and creating a suction of gas or air.
That's another great quote from that movie though, is when the guy just goes and opens up the door and Kurt Russell's like, "Tim, you check that door for heat," and then the thing just backdrafts into him.
Yep. So no, that's
a movie I quote with my boss at work all the time. We'll just be randomly walking down the hall, and I'll say, "Check that door for heat, Tim." And
So we kind of got that one. Okay, the one I got, you guys are going to get right away, so you don't have to worry about it. But this one was one of my absolute favorites growing up, and it goes, let's see. That guy in a little coat.
Tommy boy.
Tommy boy. Absolute Chris Farley, David Spade. Let me tell you, loved that. There's so many quotes from that. I wanted to pick the other one that says, my dad used to stay on the shore and he would say, "Hey Tommy, quit playing with your dinghy." Just so many one-liners in there that I wanted to pick, but I was like, that's like one of the most classic ones I can remember.
That is a great one.
So
Yes.
Tommy Boy, if you've never seen Tommy Boy and you want a good laugh at stupid comedy, because that's me, I'm stupid comedy, that's something you watch if you haven't seen it. So, okay, see, so it's a game.
And if you're still wanting more, watch Black Sheep, but probably
I
don't.
didn't like Black Sheep.
Exactly. It's
Black Sheep's not as good. The Black Sheep has its moments, but it's not.
Yes.
It's not as good.
It's not as consistent as Tommy Boy was. I didn't like the
Tommy
story.
Boy was excellent.
Yeah. So, but no, absolutely love that movie. Great movie. And now, guess what? Eric's gonna give us one that we're both gonna get right, Chris. I can feel it. Give us an easy one.
Okay, I'll give you the easiest one, or easiest one to guess for me.
Oh dear.
No, I'm simply saying that life, finds a way.
Oh, Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
That.
Yep. Hands down, one of my favorite movies of all time. And that quote, I was, clever girl is always something I always reference all the time too. But just the life finds a way. Like that's the whole premise of the movie, and the whole. It sets up everything, and that's why I picked that.
Yeah. And I've got to follow you up with that because I do have a Jurassic Park one as well. And it's a joke that it's just like, honestly, I didn't know that this was even Jurassic Park until my wife told me. She would just always say it, and I didn't know that the reference was from Jurassic Park. And I feel stupid about that, and I didn't find out, honestly, until maybe about 3 years ago. So I feel kind of dumb. But it was, hold on to your butts. And we say it all the time. And if something crazy is about to go on, my wife, she pipes up and she says, hold on to your butts. And my kids and I when she was doing it, we were like, what?
Samuel Jackson with a cigarette barely hanging onto his mouth.
Yep. Hold on to your butts. So.
That's a great one, too.
Yep, that's a class. So I honestly had that one in here, too, just because of her. That was like her favorite. But then it's like just integrated into our family of being a catchphrase for all of us. When something bad is about to happen. Maybe. So. Okay, so I got to do two. So then, Chris, we're back to you.
All right, so
Are we done guessing? Can we be done guessing?
That's
well, you'll definitely get. I feel like you'll definitely get this one.
Or we're
Okay.
to the easy ones now?
Yeah, I think we're into the easies where it's like, yeah.
And I'm gonna play off what you said, Chuck, where
Okay.
it was kind of like your wife's quote.
Okay.
So this is a quote. This is a quote from my wife's favorite movie. Okay.
Okay.
There's no crying in baseball.
League of Their Own. I was looking at that one, too. I was absolutely looking at that one.
I mean, just the delivery on that, and like Tom Hanks. I mean, come on.
Are you crying?
That's definitely a classic.
Are you crying? No. There's no crying in baseball. And then the ump even tries to come over and like make it better. It's like, hey, take it easy. And then he starts yelling. I love that movie. It's a fantastic movie.
That's one of the ones that like you're flipping through the channels. Like I'll always watch it. And my wife obviously.
Peaches.
Yeah, Rockford Peaches.
Absolutely stop.
Gina Davis.
But that movie, Tom Hanks again. I mean, I really couldn't name a movie Tom Hanks has really done totally wrong. At least that I've seen. There might be some other, but at least the ones that I've ever seen, I can't really.
The Man with One Red Shoe.
Didn't see that one. See, that's just it.
That's an early Hanks.
Yeah, well, so it's around. Wasn't that around the time he did Big, back in the 80s?
Yeah, somewhere
Yeah.
around there. Yeah. I'm just.
Yeah,
I don't
you're
even
trying
remember.
to. I know you're
I
trying to
don't-
prove me wrong. I know. I knew there was some I hadn't seen.
No, but I don't remember it like that well. It could be an excellent movie. I just remember the beginning of it where he's walking around with one red shoe. I don't know.
Okay, so I did an extra one, Eric. So we're gonna throw it back to you, and you give us another one because I kind of doubled down. Oh no.
This one's. Well, I mean, I guess the actual quote is just, "I know," but it's a dialogue of, "I love you."
Yeah.
I know. I was here. Go ahead, Chris.
40th anniversary this year.
Is it really? Yeah, it is.
Empire Strikes Back.
Yes.
What is it? Oh, Empire Strikes
Empire
Back.
Strikes
Okay. Okay.
You didn't even have to give me the "I love you" context. When you said "I know," I knew exactly what you were talking
The
about.
delivery of, "I know."
Yeah.
I honestly probably could have and should have just left it there.
Could have been maybe one of the best one-liners in cinema history, in my opinion. You know.
And apparently it was improvised too.
Yes. Originally he was supposed to say "I love you" also, and then it just didn't work.
I love you too.
So they just I guess Harrison Ford came up with it on the spot, which is so in character for the Han Solo character.
I think I read something where he came up with it that day, but didn't say it like it wasn't like a complete surprise. Like he discussed it with someone ahead of time, but he changed it. It was all his idea.
Yep.
But it's amazing.
And that's what I loved about it. It's just that sarcastic. So, as I discussed in a previous episode, I didn't watch Star Wars until less than 10 years ago. Never seen a single one of them. And then after finally watching it, I had obviously heard the whole story, know what's going to happen, know the twist, know all this, know all the famous lines, except for that one. That one just, for some reason, never heard it before, and it just caught me so off guard, and I laughed out loud.
Yeah. Well, that one's kind of hard to, like, quote, you know? Like, out in the public with your friends. You can say all the other ones, basically, but, like, that one... I mean, I've said it to my wife a few times, but...
Has she responded correctly? Does she know to respond correctly to it?
Well, no, she throws...
He's the one responding.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay, yeah. Okay, sorry.
Come on, Chuck.
Whoa. What's amazing though is like you said, like how we kind of improvise it. It's like there's this feed on Facebook when I'm going through and just kind of scrolling, and I don't remember what it's called, but they show you like a clip from a movie. Like, okay, let's say Dark Knight, because I just saw that one recently, where it shows you like the actual scene that they committed to, and then it shows you the script and how close but not close they are. You know, they get across what they're supposed to, but how much of it is just like, this is, you know, it's not exactly...
They're changed on the scene,
word for word, yeah. So it's fun to watch. I actually enjoyed looking at that.
I mean, it makes sense. Like, there's a lot of things you put down on paper, and then when you're actually talking, it's like,
it doesn't
I don't think
work.
you'd say it like that.
Yeah.
Or
exactly. So, but it's fun to kind of look at that, but then to know that he did something like that. Those are always, I like those things a lot. It's always interesting to me to see how much they actually changes. Because if it were me doing a script, it's like I would try and have the whole thing memorized, so I know everything word for word verbatim, so I'm good to go. I don't mess everybody else up, because that's how I am. Be like, if I'm an actor, I got to know it all. Everybody's line, your line, you're supposed to say. So yeah, that's why I wouldn't do it, because it was too much work. I don't memorize that well, so I talk unscripted. Okay, so whose turn is it? So Chris, you just went. So it's.
Oh, I just went.
Eric just went.
Oh,
I went before Eric.
Okay.
I guess it's your turn, Chuck.
Oh, really? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna do one of it because I have two. I'm gonna do one of the longer ones. Let's see if you guys can. Goes. You see, Sanka, the driver has to be the hardest worker than anyone. He's the first to show up and the last to leave. When his buddies are out drinking beer, he's up in his room studying pictures of turns. You see, a driver must remain focused 100% of the time.
Is it from Driver?
Sanka, turns. What?
What did you just say? I didn't hear what you said.
It's Sanka. The person's name is Sanka, in case you didn't know that he's...
I don't know anyone named Sanka.
John Candy is talking to him.
John Candy.
Oh.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles?
No, Disney movie. Has to do with,
okay, Cool Runnings.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, all right, yeah.
I was thinking either like a NASCAR movie or like a heist movie. I was trying to, like.
My mind was also going heist to start. Yep.
Oh, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. This movie was something I watched when I was younger, and just that part right there. This was like going to be my number one or number two. It like stayed in my head, like, especially, if you want to lead, you want to do stuff like that, because I was in a lot of sports. So like to be a captain, you got to be the first one to show up. I mean, Eric, you see it, I still even kind of do it because it's like, I always want to try to be the first one at work. I want to make sure everything's right, set up, good to go before everybody else shows up. It's just something that's been ingrained in me all my life. So I kind of took that whole. That's why I read the whole thing, or I could have just done like you guys did, like a snippet of it. And I think it would, but it would have been a lot harder to realize what it was. But that whole thing, I really think it was just a. It's not even meant to be a powerful line, but it really just kind of stuck with me throughout all my years. Like I said, even a little bit too today. So yeah,
cool.
so Cool Runnings. Yeah, a great movie, great
That's
comedy,
cool.
loved it. Again, sport movie, love it. You know, I like sports or history with something that's kind of true. I know it's not as true as it could be, obviously.
Modified
but,
history.
Yes. So definitely like that movie. Again, check it out. It's on Disney Plus right now. In case you don't have Disney Plus, it's there. So
We keep pushing that. Maybe we can get
I
somebody
know.
on
I'm
that.
telling you, we gotta get them to back us up here.
Shout out to Disney Plus.
Hey, I hashtag that when we put those videos out. I was like Disney. So,
And now we're on the watch list.
hey, we gotta be somewhere.
Watch. Yeah.
At least someone's watching us, so that's good. Okay, so we're kicking it to Eric. I believe you're up next.
Sure. All right. Super easy one. You're killing me, Smalls.
Sandlot.
Yep.
Bingo. Just the whole delivery of that, especially so he says it multiple. I think at least 2, maybe 3 times in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And the delivery always gets me. And I especially can't do the whole. I can't have s'mores without doing that s'mores conversation. S'more what? How can I have some more? Something I haven't had anything yet. Killing me, Smalls.
Now they're coming up with an updated Sandlot, aren't they? Isn't that something that's going on or in discussions or something like that?
Are they
I
really?
heard that they were. I thought I heard they were getting pretty much almost everybody back together.
Oh, like
Do
a reboot, like a reunion type of thing.
I don't like Sandlot because I knew they did Sandlot 2. I never watched Sandlot 2.
I don't think I did either.
Was never interested in that, but it's almost like I feel it was like Sandlot 3, or maybe they're grown up and now they have kids and their kids,
No, I haven't seen it. I saw Mighty Ducks is doing something for Disney Plus,
Yeah, I heard about that. I'm pretty sure there's something about the Sandlot though.
but I didn't see anything about Sandlot.
So I don't know. I could be totally lying.
That's like
things
now
up.
that you mentioned that, Eric. Like
Yep.
I'm kind of amazed I didn't come up with that one because I say that one all the time, especially
All the time.
to like my yeah. Well played.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Okay. So Chris, your turn.
So I'm gonna go with. Are you gonna bark all day, little doggy? Or are you gonna bite?
Ooh.
I feel like Eric should get this one.
I have nothing on that one. Yeah, I have nothing on that one.
Everything you keep naming is something that's like I know I've heard that before. Or I feel like I should know what it's from, but I can't. I know, not placing it.
Are we giving
You
up?
got a hint?
Yeah, I have
Give a
nothing.
hint.
Call back to my conversation. I think it was before we started about the Quentin Tarantino cinematic universe.
Oh.
Pulp Fiction. Did he
It's
do
not
that
Pulp
one?
Fiction.
Okay, I haven't seen Pulp Fiction.
Reservoir Dogs.
Reservoir Dogs. Yes.
Yep. Yep. I definitely should have got that.
Yep, haven't seen that one. I had no idea.
You never saw Reservoir Dogs, Chuck?
Let's make a list of movies Chuck hasn't seen that it looks like he should have seen.
Oh, I think
'cause that could be
we
a-
have.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much what this podcast is.
Yeah.
Hey, I know I've seen. I mean, it's 2 now. I'm writing them down.
Reservoir Dogs.
yeah.
Yeah. Definitely don't watch that one with the kiddos, Chuck.
Oh, Xavier will love
No.
that.
Well, yeah. Don't watch any Quentin Tarantino with the kiddos.
Yeah.
I know. I've seen Inglourious Bastard. I've seen some of it, but
Yeah. So actually, I did not end up getting a Quentin Tarantino movie quote on here. I had 2 that just missed. I had one word, buongiorno.
Inglourious Bastards, the best one.
Grazie. Or
I love that.
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you.
Yeah. Pulp Fiction.
Yep.
I mean, he's the master of dialogue, so but he's kind of goes along with the thing I was saying earlier, where it's kind of like the whole conversation, like.
Yep.
It's hard. It was kind of hard to pick a quote from him because it's like.
So yeah.
They're usually like a longer
what
thing.
What happens around it is what matters to it. Yeah.
Right. But this quote is like going back to what I was saying earlier too. Like this is another one I've always wanted to say to somebody that was like yelling at me about something but I've never actually pulled it out and said it to somebody.
You know what they call a quarter pounder with cheese?
A Royale with cheese.
All right. Is it you, Chuck?
Back to Chuck.
Yeah, I think it's me. Let's see here. I will do... Oh, okay. I'm king of the world! I know.
James Cameron's Titanic.
Yeah! Biggest reason that's even on this list is, for some reason, in 4th grade, 5th grade, my mom bought me a book of the Titanic, read it over and over, and became obsessed, like, with the ship. And so, like, when a movie came out and James Cameron's like, we're literally building half the ship and making it look like the ship. That, to me, at that age, it was like, I absolutely have to go see this movie, and I did. I went and saw it like at least 4 or 5 times in the theater because I couldn't get enough of the whole ship. Just the whole story, everything behind it, like saying it's unsinkable. It's, I wasn't in love with the story of Jack and Rose. That was just like, okay, that's just part what I had to follow.
That was the filler to get you to those.
Exactly. But they would, like, there'd be the part where Jack, like, Rose said, I don't want to see you anymore. They, like, said they didn't say their goodbyes. She just said she didn't want to see him anymore. And then he snuck into, like, the gymnasium, like having a gymnasium on a ship. That was like something new. And so, like, then he sneaks her in there, and I'm like looking at how they have things. Like, I more analyzed it for how authentic it was than compared to what that story was at all.
That's fair. I also, when I was probably around that same age, read a Titanic book, like back or front to back, but I think it was because the movie came out and I became interested in it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
This is the age difference.
Yeah, because the movie, I was in high school because it was 5th grade when I had the book, and it was, I always kind of read it was by Dr. Ballard, who discovered the Titanic. But it was also, like when the movie came out, what was I going to say? Yeah, it like re-sparked my interest even more. Like I still was interested in it, but it just re-sparked it. And then I swear my girlfriend wasn't convinced. Like she thought I liked going because she thought I liked the picture scene. And I was like, that is not all. Like I told her, you can cover my eyes during that scene. I can care less about the picture.
I thought you were there for the PG-13 boobs.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, no. I'm like, not at all. It was, and she didn't believe me. And
Draw me like one of your French girls, Jack.
Deep down, Chuck's really just a huge Celine Dion fan, and you just need an excuse to go listen to that song over and over again.
Oh,
his heart will go on.
Yeah, of course. Actually, I think I did too. So I definitely don't have it anymore, but I
do. You want to you want me to give it to you? I got it still.
No, you're good.
You're good. You're good. Okay. So so obviously, King of the World, Titanic. Just loved the whole entire thing with that ship, and just the way that even the camera angles, like because they built half the ship, when they created the set, like when the ship is docked and like they're actually getting on, like Rose is getting on, Jack's getting on, the whole ship is technically reversed. All the sets, everything, like the printing on, like you see a truck driving by that's like a company truck and it has the name of the business on the truck. It's all painted and done in reverse because they flipped the shot over. So that way, because the other side of the ship is the one that they created, so they had to reverse the whole entire thing to get that to actually play correctly when they were filming. So if you watch some cool, that's just like cool with the behind the scenes stuff. So it was amazing.
That is interesting.
Yeah, yep. They had to do it all in reverse because they only built they only built the right side of the ship. So to make it look like it was the left side, they had to reverse everything when they were boarding it in that opening scene. So yeah, No, James Cameron did he did a great job on that movie. I was very happy with it. So yeah, Titanic. Moving on over, sailing over to Eric for your next one. Ooh.
All right, here's my long one, Chuck.
Oh, we got a long one. Okay.
And another easy one. Obviously, I think they're all easy from here on out. Funny how? I mean, funny like a clown. I amuse you. I make you laugh. I'm here to amuse you. What do you mean funny? Funny how? How am I funny? Are we going to censor these?
Goodfellas? Yeah, we will have to censor this one, Eric, by the way.
Absolutely.
Because our number one fan...
Nope. I forgot to preface that going into that one, but yeah. I got to the word, I'm like, oh yeah. It's in
Just
here.
go with it. You got to go. Commit. Just commit.
I committed, but then I immediately followed up with, we got to censor.
Ready? Here's another one. I've only seen
We'll fix
that
it
scene
in post.
Was that in Goodfellas? That right? I was right.
That was
Yeah,
Goodfellas,
yeah, it was in
correct.
Yeah, see, I didn't see that movie. I just saw that one scene.
Teenage 30-year-old Ray Liotta.
Okay. I'm
You said you've never seen that one either?
No, just that scene. And I just saw it recently on YouTube.
And probably
Yeah,
probably because I played it sitting next to you that one day.
maybe.
I think so.
I'm amazed you haven't seen that movie just because of like the camera work and all that stuff in it, Chuck. Like there's all these
yeah.
like long tracking shots in it and everything.
Is it?
So good.
I'll have to.
Steadicam.
I wrote it down. Chuck.
I remember the first time I watched that movie. I was sitting in my parents' house like in the 90s. You know, I would come home from school almost every day and go to the video store and rent something. And so the day I brought Goodfellas home, it's like a probably close to 3 hours, if not 3 hour movie, right? Something like that. And so I sat down and watched it, and then I watched it immediately again afterwards because I liked it so much at the time.
Yeah. Well, and that was probably obviously it's probably rated R. And
Oh, yeah.
In the Overnesser house, in the Overnesser household, guess what? Ours were not permitted in through past the doors. And any videos you rented were checked before you when you got in the car when your mother was right there. Oh, what'd you get? Oh, and I actually think she was right by my side when I would pick it. So I don't even think I made it to the car.
Well, I would usually get a stern talking to if my mother walked into at the wrong moment of the movie, you know. Which
is always what happens, no matter what. Everything else in the movie's been fine, and they walk in at that one moment where it's like, didn't know that was going to happen.
yeah.
So always.
I feel like I never really seeked out R-rated movies when I was younger. I just actually watched these movies that I heard were really good later on in life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And which Chuck still hasn't done yet.
No, Chuck sucks. What can I say? You know, he doesn't do what he's supposed to. So that's okay though. Okay, Chris.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with. Here's a movie that I could have picked, like a litany of quotes from. But my favorite from it is, "My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die."
The Princess Bride.
Yes, sir. That's a movie I feel like is very quotable.
Just that quote especially, though, because he just keeps on saying it over and over again.
Right.
Oh, it's... Yes.
I remember seeing that as a child, and when it got to that part, I'm like, here's a guy who's like on a... Chuck, have you seen this movie before I like start spoiling it for you?
Guess what? You guys froze, and I heard, so I have no idea what's going on. So I'm just like, yeah, that's a good movie.
Oh, okay. Well,
so you don't even know what movie we're talking about yet?
No, I have no movie what you're talking. I didn't even.
All right, I'll say it again.
Give him the quote again.
All right. "My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die."
That was in one of the... I'd never seen the movie. I don't know what it is, but it was in a list, and I read that, and I was like, I have no idea what that is, so I moved on to the next one. And like, what was the name of the movie? I don't know. I'm not going to waste time on that. What is it?
I am a little surprised.
Again after I've already said it.
I know, it is funny, yeah.
Well,
I am a little surprised you haven't seen this one.
I understand.
I think isn't this one
What
on
was it?
Disney Plus right now?
Princess Bride.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
The Princess Bride.
It's a Princess Bride. Who watches Princess Bride?
Oh my God, it's an amazing movie.
What?
Andre the Giant. Andre the Giant's finest work.
Andre the Giant. Oh my God. Who was that originally written for? It was originally, I believe it was supposed to be Schwarzenegger that was supposed to play the Giant.
Was it really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. I think he was the original vision for that, but it was so much better that it ended up being Andre.
Yeah, I couldn't picture Schwarzenegger doing that role at all.
I'll have to fact check that after, but I'm pretty sure that's true.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, have fun storming the castle, you know? I'm trying to think of what are some of my other ones. That word, you keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
That character, too.
Yeah. That guy's the best.
He is the best.
Inigo Montoya.
Nope. No idea.
I just remember liking it as a kid because it had swords in it, and the guy was going off on a quest and stuff. Mm-hmm. Fred Savage, isn't Fred Savage the kid in it?
Yeah. Yes.
It's like one of those movies, like The Never-Ending Story, Chuck, where the grandfather's telling him the story. I believe. I think he's sick, right, or something. Mm-hmm. Homesick from school or something, and his grandfather's
Why is he telling him a story about a princess?
It's like a quest, sort of. It's like an adventure.
Because
okay,
someone's got to go save them.
See, okay, it's called Princess Bride. Why would I watch that as a guy? Seriously.
Because it's a really great movie, and you can go beyond what you think is okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's sword fighting in it.
Yeah.
And Diego Montoya gets stabbed like 800 times
in it.
Yeah. Diego Montoya. Okay.
Anyway, Chuck.
Okay. Yeah. We'll
why do you wish to live? True love.
I don't know what's going on.
I mean, I gotta say that's one of my favorite movies of all time. You know what bummed me out too was when I forget the name of the actor, the guy who plays what's his name? I can't even think of his name in the movie.
Diego Montoya.
No, the other guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know.
But he's like the dorky guy in Liar Liar.
Voice. Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, that almost ruins Princess Bride for me. But yeah, whatever. Still a great movie. He wears a mask most of the time anyway.
Yep.
Anyway,
okay,
that's all I have to say about that.
Now it's my turn, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so... Oh, wait, no, didn't I just... Eric, isn't it your turn?
Sure, Chuck. I don't know. You're supposed to be paying attention to this.
Come on, Chuck.
Okay.
All right. Well, is it my turn?
It is now.
Okay, I'm just gonna go.
You guys froze again. Today's a rough night. I'm sorry, everybody on the
Okay.
internet, when we're doing this. I don't know what's going on. You going or me?
What are your kids watching upstairs on Netflix? All right, I'm gonna go. Good morning, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Truman Show.
Correct.
Love it.
Another great movie.
Yep.
I don't know if Chuck was actually guessing and didn't hear you guessing, or just repeated what you were saying.
No, I knew. I thought we said it at the same time.
Okay.
So,
Truman Show is correct.
no, that's a good movie.
I love that movie. I love the whole premise of that movie. And just how that's like his little catchphrase on the show, but it's his catchphrase in real life because he doesn't know he's on a show. And then that's the last thing he says, too, before exiting through the black door.
Yep.
So, yeah, super
So
memorable.
it comes full circle, so that's...
Yeah.
But
Plus
the
I
best
needed
part is I
some
love how they
character on there, 'cause
always...
that was my childhood.
The best thing I love about that is all the product placement that they tried to put in to sell for the sponsors to keep the show going. You know, I just love this, like, slam against the wall. Hey, look who the new sponsor is today for this show. Oh, Truman. Here's this glass. This is full of water. Buy this water today. Oh, get the glass. You know, it's like, oh, it's great. Yeah,
I mean, it's not far. It's not far off of television in general. You know?
No, absolutely
exactly.
No. And you sit there and watch, what is it, America's Got Talent, and they all have Dunkin' cups, right? You know, product placement put right there. You know, but it's just hilarious. I love the way that they went about like trying to make it not obvious. Where I think anybody in this world would be like, "You're really acting funny talking about ketchup or whatever the product is." So,
but that's all Truman knows. Everyone always talks like that.
Yeah, get this Merrill bottle right here. It's fantastic. No. Okay, so Merrill. Bail. Okay, so before you guys freeze. Oh, look at that fancy glass on sale now. We got them. What was I gonna say? So I'll go before you guys freeze up on me again. And I'll get this one out of the way. This is my last long one. You're gonna know it right probably by the first line, anyways. My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the armies of the North, general of the Felix legions, and loyal servant to the true emperor Marcus Aurelius, father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance in this life or the next.
Gladiator.
Yes. Absolutely. Russell Crowe in Gladiator.
So I'm seeing a little bit of a theme, Chuck, with 300 and Gladiator. You like the sword fighting epic battle type movies.
I like action a lot. I like because Gladiator was before 300. I mean, you can say that, but I'm trying to think. There's a lot that I probably haven't seen. Like, I didn't watch after 300. I didn't watch the next one in the whole series, even though I think there's like maybe 2 or 3 movies after, maybe 3 of them. But yeah, I only watched the 300. I watched that, and then I would say the only other one really that I watched a lot would be Troy, with Brad Pitt. That one's probably the only other one that has to do with like ancient Greece or anything like that I really like. So those were really the 3: was Gladiator, 300, and Troy. So those were definitely. Which I'm surprised I didn't put Troy in here.
No Braveheart?
I didn't do that. It's one of my favorites. Anyways.
Braveheart's 90s movie, though. Braveheart's before all of them.
True.
Yeah. Braveheart's good, but, if you wanted to watch, I would sit down and watch it. Let's put it that way. I'll leave it at that. I would sit down and watch it, but.
I enjoyed Braveheart.
Yeah, so. Yeah. Again, I think if I'm changing stations and I see it, that's when I stop and watch it. I don't have the movie itself, and I don't go looking for it. But if it's there, I'm like, ooh, okay, stop. So,
I definitely own Gladiator on something. I don't know if it's DVD or Blu-ray. Actually, it might have been a 2-pack with Braveheart. Now that I talk about it.
Yeah, solid movie. I remember the first time I saw it, though, I got to the theater late, and I was living in Rochester at the time. So the only seats available for me and my buddy was, the love seat, right in the front row. So me and him are just sitting there, 2 dudes, just looking up at the screen like this. And that's not a good movie to see, that close.
I imagine not.
Yeah,
No.
Well, not that there's any real movie that's good to see like that, but, especially with all the quick, sword fighting and stuff like that, I still really enjoyed the movie, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I could have. And then when it came out on video and I watched it at home, I enjoyed it much more.
Yeah.
The Spaniard,
Spaniard,
Yeah, my brother-in-law introduced me to Braveheart. So.
Are you not entertained?
Okay.
Are you not entertained? That's another great quote from that one.
Love it, love it, love it. You know what I'm finding is funny though? There hasn't been many where it's you know what, I mentioned a movie and then Eric didn't have that. Let's say he, are you not entertained mixed in there? We've only had 1 or 2 of those, right? I think where it's we talk about the same movie.
You went off of Jurassic Park after I went. Chris and I both had something from a Star Wars movie. So, I mean, his was in all of them. Mine was just that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
not a lot of overlap.
Yeah. So, and again.
All right. I believe,
okay, so Eric, go ahead. You got
Chris?
your next one.
Oh yeah, it's me, Chuck. I think.
It is? Oh, okay. Go for it.
Let's see. I'm gonna go with There Is No Spoon.
There's no what?
Spoon.
The Matrix.
Yes.
When they're trying to bend the spoon, you gotta sit there and think about it. You gotta
So
be
I
like,
actually have never seen.
this is
I
a-
actually have never seen those movies.
No.
Oh, you've never seen The Matrix?
No.
Surprising.
It's on Netflix. You can watch it. I just rewatched
It's another
it.
one.
Yeah.
So
it's on-
that I mean, just like Star Wars took me a long time to watch, The Matrix, Lord of the Rings. There's a bunch of those like really popular trilogies that for some reason I just haven't.
I think.
Indiana Jones.
Wait, you haven't seen Indiana
Indiana
Jones?
Jones. No, he hasn't. And it's all on Netflix. I'm like, Eric, they're
I
all
talk
there.
I talk
Watch them
about this
now.
with Chuck all the time, and they're all on Netflix, and you just gotta sit down sometime and watch them. But for some reason, I haven't.
Well, sometimes there's just too much. You know, it's like there's something to be said about going to the video store and picking something, and like this is your pick, and you're going with it. And then sometimes I find I'll sit down and like Netflix, and you can watch literally thousands of movies, and like you can't decide on one.
Yeah.
I feel like with stuff like that, it's always like that's a movie where I know I want to sit down and watch and pay attention. And more often than not, when I find myself on Netflix, I'm like, I just want something to play.
Yeah.
And not really watch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I will say this
Well, yeah,
about the Matrix trilogy. When it first came out, the first movie came out, I was like blown away. And then obviously they did 2 more. And at the time I was really excited about the sequels. But if I go back and rewatch the sequels, I feel like they don't hold up. But the original one is still very good, I think.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
But the sequels, I feel like, didn't age as well as the original.
Yeah, the third one, I don't even think I got through the third one. I watched the second one. I was like, it was okay. But yeah, I agree, Chris. It's like the first one definitely is the one to watch. The
first one is like a solid overall movie. Like it's got everything you would want in like that type of sci-fi blockbuster type movie. Had a good story, had good acting, and good effects, and everything. But the second one and the third one, they have their moments where they have some good action scenes, but like I feel like the overall movie doesn't really it didn't age well, I guess, because I remember enjoying them when they first came out, but then going back and rewatching them, I was kind of like, no.
Is it true that there's a sequel coming out for those soon too?
Apparently there is, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
There is a sequel for that.
The new trailer because Keanu Reeves is in that. That's the only reason I said that.
Yeah.
Because the new trailer just dropped today. So
This still took me way off guard because I'm like, what besides Keanu? Like I know that's a tie-in, but what did we say about that?
Yeah.
Because he was in the Matrix.
Well, while we're on the
It all
subject,
ties
I'll say I was a little underwhelmed by the trailer for the Bill and Ted's.
I mean, you still got these 40, 50-year-old guys talking like they're surfer dudes, and it's like, really?
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably more than anything. That's what got to me. I was like, I mean, I know you're supposed to be dudes, but no.
Okay.
So, yep. So definitely The Matrix, Eric. If you had to pick one, go with that one.
I like how we rag on Chuck for not watching all these movies, and I just like announce that I haven't watched like all these really good trilogies.
Yeah.
So
Not gonna rag.
Sorry, Chuck.
That's okay. No.
Indiana Jones surprises me a little bit.
I've told them a million times. It's on Netflix. Just
It's
go
on
one day.
Netflix.
Just pick it and go. I mean, you can't really go except
Harrison
for
Ford.
Crystal Skull. Yeah. Go. Just don't
Oh,
pick
yeah.
Crystal
Don't watch
Skull,
the
and you're
fourth
good.
one.
I've only seen the fourth
Start
one
at the
once.
end. Yeah, probably.
I want to go back and rewatch the fourth one, and I remember hating it when I
don't.
saw it the first time. Well, it's on Netflix, so
Yeah.
it's not like I'm wasting money. I guess subscription money, but like
No, but you're wasting time in
is
your
money.
life.
Time is money,
You're wasting
yeah.
away your life. Yeah, that's the only thing. You can sit there and watch, any other Indiana Jones, and you'll be good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I enjoyed the one with his father the most, Last Crusade. I think that it was that one. That was my favorite.
Yeah,
So-
that one's good. I guess they're making a new one of those also. Indiana Jones 5 would be.
Stop. Leave him alone.
Yeah,
He
they
did
are
his-
actually. Yep, I saw that.
Yeah, they were
Is it with
supposed to. I
Harrison
think.
Ford and Shia LaBeouf again?
I don't know if Shia LaBeouf's
How does
I
it-
don't know. I don't think Shia's in it, but
Yeah.
Ford's in it.
Why? Just leave him alone. It was good until you.
Yeah. They should have quit it at Last Crusade. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no reason. There was no reason for Kingdom Skull. It just.
I mean, you would think. When did that movie come out? Like 2008 or something like that. You know, somewhere in
And it
there.
was right, and it
Yeah.
was not great then, and Harrison Ford was too old then.
Oh
and,
yeah, 100%.
And here we are.
Yeah. And now
Here we
we're
are,
doing, yeah.
over 10 years later, and we're doing it again.
Right.
Just leave
But
him
also,
alone.
like the filmmaking. I mean, Spielberg directed that, right?
Yep.
And like the filmmaking of it just wasn't great either. You know, it's like they forgot what made. It's almost like the prequels from Star Wars. They really relied too much on like the effects type of
Yeah.
thing,
Yep.
and they forgot what got them to the dance. Basically, all the practical stunts and everything like that that people really wanted to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, just like
Leave it alone.
leave it alone.
I mean,
They're out
I
of
don't even
ideas.
think I don't know if I'd really want to see a remake of it. Just coming out of Hollywood at all either. I just leave it alone. Got to respect some of this and just
Yeah.
leave it alone. That's my quote. Leave it alone. So, okay. So Eric, you just wait. No, yeah,
It was me.
no. Matrix. Chris went. So now it's Eric's turn.
Is it?
Sure.
So I'm on my last one then.
Okay.
Is everyone else on their last one?
I have
I
two
believe so.
remaining.
You have 2 remaining, Chuck? I
Yes,
think it's
I
your
do.
turn then.
Okay, then I'll go. This one's gonna be both of these are very obvious, so I'll go with the most obvious, and maybe the last one's a little tougher. So mine is the first rule of Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club. I wonder what movie this is, guys. Come on.
I have no idea. Tyler Durden.
No guesses. No guesses at all.
It's Fight Club in case anybody didn't know, because you know what, you could be like Chuck out there and maybe not have seen it. But if you haven't seen this, it's kind of sad.
But apparently Chuck has seen this one.
Chuck has seen this one many times, and I enjoy it. I like Fight Club a lot.
So I also almost had a Fight Club quote.
Ooh.
It was on my almost list. I have on
Yeah.
a long enough timeline, the survival rate for everyone drops to 0.
That's
What-
dark.
what-
Did you not hear it, Chuck?
yes, I did.
What? I just, yeah, because it's dark. Just the whole,
The whole movie's
everything
dark.
is meaningless type of thing. But exactly. What is everything? My life has no meaning. Why are we doing whatever?
Yeah.
A long enough timeline. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was the first movie that I saw that had like a darker premise to it, and I think that's maybe why I enjoyed it, because it was like the first one that I kind of saw that kind of thought like that I had any experience with. I've never seen probably any movie like that. So
I mean, that's also one of the reasons I love that movie. Is it's one of those movies you can watch 40 times, and the 41st you still find something
Exactly.
different, or it's like,
Yep.
whoa.
yep, that's what I like. And we were earlier this year we were talking about it over the headsets, and I really wanted to see it because what was it? It's
That could have been another one of
his
our
name
quotes.
His name
Alan
is
Parsons?
Robert
Paulson.
Robert Paulson.
Paulson.
Robert Paulson.
His
name
name
was Robert Paulson.
Robert Paulson.
So yeah,
I
So we were
understand,
talking
sir. In Project Mayhem,
So-
in death, a member of Project Mayhem can have a name.
Project. Oh my gosh!
I've seen that movie
I
way
even
too many
forgot about
times.
that part. This is why I want to like refresh and watch it again, and I can't find it anywhere streaming. So you got to keep looking.
I got the DVD if you want to borrow it, Chuck.
No, don't let me borrow DVDs. Eric already knows about that.
Like the Ultimate
Yeah,
Edition or something.
Trust me, I have almost every movie we've done I have in disc format,
Yeah.
and can't give it to Chuck because he can't watch it.
Because
Come on, Chuck.
the DVD player. And he gave me one DVD to borrow. I don't know. My wife went through things. I don't know what she did with it, so I might have thrown it away. So I got to buy him it again. And he's like, "If you got to buy it, then buy the digital copy and give it to me."
Yeah, just buy the digital copy and you watch it. You don't have to give it to me.
I feel bad. I'm like looking at it. I know it's in a plastic bag. I just can't find that
I'm
plastic
surprised
bag.
I didn't have a Team America quote, actually. That one definitely would have had to be censored, though.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Oh, okay. So we're all on our last one. So let's go back to Chris. Last one. Here we go. Chris's last quote.
Some would say I saved the best for last, but it's just kind of a coincidence. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Oh, Gone with the Wind? Really?
Gone with the Wind, yeah. I mean, just the context, the way, the delivery, like the sentiment of the line, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Another one I would love to say to someone, but just never got the opportunity. Atlanta wasn't burning at any time, and you know.
Oft quoted, and also while doing research for this to just make sure I didn't miss any quotes I really wanted, that was almost always toward the top of every list, if not one on every list.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is a
now,
great line.
did you actually see Gone with the Wind, or you just know it?
I've seen it several times.
Oh, okay. I
remember the first time watching that as a kid with my parents, and it came on 2 tapes. I believe, like VHS tapes. Okay. And there was like, you know, the intermission, which I had never experienced as a child, you know, like, I mean, we were home, so it wasn't like, but I remember the thing came up, you know, like intermission or whatever, pop in second tape now. Or,
yeah.
And, cause that was like a 3-hour movie, right? I think something like that.
Yeah.
Still, I guess if you adjust it for inflation, it's still the highest grossing movie of all time.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
See, I had the same experience with the double tape, but that was for Titanic when I bought it.
Oh yeah, I remember that too.
Yep.
The double tape.
Yep, exactly. So, I have not seen. I just know it from pop culture. Just that line. I've never seen Gone with the Wind. Never seen Casablanca. You know, like those, but with those, you know.
See, I went through a phase where I watched. I had seen Gone with the Wind as a child, but like I hadn't seen Casablanca or I'm drawing a blank on it. Orson Welles' favorite or classic thing.
War
I can't
of the
think
Worlds?
of No.
I was gonna say that's the first one that comes to my mind too.
Everyone says it's like the best movie ever made. Rosebud is the famous quote from it. Why can I not think of the name of this?
I can't think of the movie either, but I saw Rosebud, and I never understood. I never saw it, but
I don't know.
Oh God, it's driving me. It's so stupid that I can't remember the name of this movie right now.
Hold on.
But anyway, like I went through like a whole like list of like these are the greatest movies ever, and so I started watching them. I think I was in college at the time or something like that, and you know, so I watched Citizen Kane. Oh my God!
Thanks, Google.
Yeah. Which, you know, I that's another one I think, like, for the time period, it's like, it was a great movie, but, like, I think if people watch it today, they kind of don't really get it. Like, the story, like, that did things with storytelling that hadn't been done before, you know? So, like, now people will just see it and be like, oh, what's the big deal? But, like, no one had ever, like, structured a movie like that before.
Yeah.
And the guy was only 24 years old when he made the movie, I think. Something like that.
Oh, wow.
That's insane. I wish I was able to have done something like that. 24. Yeah, I just made a movie. It worked. It worked out. It was great. You know, it was fantastic.
One of the greatest of all time.
Awesome. Shot with my iPhone. It was great.
He was also the voice of Optimus Prime, wasn't he? Or one of those Transformers characters? Orson Welles?
Orson Welles?
Maybe it was not
Orson Welles
Optimus
is too
Prime.
old.
For the 80s cartoon? I think he did something. No? Am I making that up?
I don't know. I'll have to look into that. Because Optimus Prime, I mean, Orson Welles, he's passed on, right? By now?
Well, by now, but like I think he was alive in the 80s, maybe?
Yeah, but like the guy who did Optimus Prime in the 80s still does Optimus Prime today.
I don't think he did Optimus Prime. He did the car carrier guy, which I can't remember his name now.
Have to look that up.
We'll look it up while you guys are.
Okay.
Whoever's next, jump in there.
Eric, you're up.
I want to say Optimus Prime. His voice was the early one was Peter Cullen.
That sounds right. I think he does it all still, though. I think even now, like with Michael Bay's films and all that, it's still.
I think he's actually done a few different voices in the Bay ones.
Yeah.
All right, my last one. I love so many quotes from this movie because all of them have such great cadence.
Mm-hmm.
But
is this one you were trying to cadence to me
favorite.
earlier and I couldn't figure out what it was?
No, actually, I did that one already. That was
okay.
that was Jurassic Park. Pizza dude's got 30 seconds.
Original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
Yes, sir.
I should have known. Why did I think of that one? Oh.
Yes, sir. That
was a good delivery
that
too.
movie.
Eric.
Thank you. I was honestly I practiced it. There's so many that honestly, so much dialogue in that movie has like this melodic tone to it. And I listened to a podcast that was just that movie by the minute, where they broke down every minute, and that was one thing they always came back to, is like how so many of the lines have like almost a melody to them.
Yeah.
Like, a Jose Canseco bat? Tell me, you didn't pay money for this.
What the?
I love them.
I'm blown away.
Obviously, it's a movie that I obviously grew up loving as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Turtles were everything in the 90s. And having had gone back and watched it recently, got completely back into it all again. It's still such a great movie. Like, it's it was made for kids, but it's so well done. The music is so good. The story's actually pretty good. The humor still stands up for kids.
Yeah.
The second and third one, maybe not so much. Definitely not the third one. The second one, not so much either. But that first movie, and to think like everyone's like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is this kid's property.
Mm-hmm.
It was based on a comic book that has ninja swords and blood and like a dark premise to it, and that movie did such a great job of
toning it down, right, to a degree where it's still.
No.
There wasn't.
It was more adult than the cartoon, and not quite as.
Yeah. And it still had a lot of the dark undertones. Like it was good at being something for the kids, but still being a lot more true to the comic book than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
That was a top-grossing independent movie of all time for a while, right?
Yes, also true. Yep.
Yeah.
There was many times where it almost didn't get made, and then went back and forth, and then all the puppetry is all Henson, and how they got that done while being independent too. A lot of good stories behind it, how it actually came together.
Huh, interesting. I didn't know Henson did that.
Yeah. I believe the first two movies were Henson puppets, and then they went really cheap on the third one, and it shows.
Yeah, I was gonna say you probably saw it. Yeah. Now the third one is that where they like go back in time?
Turtles in Time, right?
Yeah, they go back.
Okay, that's what
It wasn't. I don't think it was actually called Turtles in Time. I think it's just what people called it. The video game was called Turtles in Time, but
excellent game.
Very good game. I believe the suits that they used so they had two suits actually for everything too. They had one that had be able to talk, and one that was more of the action suit.
Okay.
But I think why the second one doesn't work as well is the suits were still suits, and there was like seams, there was this, but they did such a great job of lighting in the first one that always cover it up.
Mm-hmm.
It was a dark movie.
It was very dark, and it was dark for a reason.
Yeah.
Because of hiding that and because of the story.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that was my little diatribe of Ninja Turtles.
Okay. And move on. My last one. Great movie. Excited because there's a new one that'll be coming out soon. Kind of already hinting, so you guys will probably get it. But it is
Top Gun.
Top Gun.
I hate you both so much. I'm not even gonna read it then. Forget it.
I feel the need for speed.
Need for speed.
Yep. Come on. What the hell?
Well, you gave it away when you said there's a new one coming out soon.
You all. That's Chuck. That's the podcast. Have a good night, everybody. Forget you all.
Orson Welles was the voice of Unicron in the original Transformers movie. So, my bad.
I don't even know which one that one is, but
it was the cartoon, I think it came out.
No, I know. I don't know the bot. I know the cartoon.
Oh, he was like the planet eating thing.
Okay.
I don't know. Have you ever seen the original, the cartoon one, Transformers?
The 80s, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Speaking of
long
dark,
time, but yes.
Speaking of dark for us Transformers.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this, because I just watched, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to, well, we're still talking about it. Bumblebee. In the original cartoon, what were the two kids' names that were, like, aligned with the the Autobots? Do you remember them? Because it's not the name of these two kids. I'm pretty sure it was, like, Sally and some other, I couldn't get the boy's name. I don't know who he was. I just watched Bumblebee.
Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox?
No. This is Bumblebee. The actual movie Bumblebee that's on Amazon.
It was pretty decent.
No,
So.
I'm not sure.
Okay. I don't know why. I just looked at it. I was like, this is... I understand it's like the rest of the Transformers technically aren't to Earth yet. Or at least they're not supposed to be. So I was just kind of curious if you guys remember the names at all. Because I'm pretty sure it wasn't Sally. So, whatever. Just quick question on that. So, well, there you have it, everybody. That is our lists, kind of, in no particular order. No particular order at all. You know what I love is Go ahead.
Anybody have any other ones that just barely didn't make the list that we can just rattle off real quick?
No, I just threw my list over there.
Okay.
I wanted to do... Again, I didn't know whether we were... we're gonna beep this out or what, so I tended to leave anything with profanity off. But the one, if we're censoring, the one I like is from. Well, let's see if you guys can get it. Okay.
Okay.
We'll go back to this.
Sure, go for it.
So okay, this also broke one of my other rules where it's like it's a conversation, you know. So. Your best. Losers always whine about their best. Winners go home and the prom queen.
Well, it's Sean Connery based on the...
Yeah. and then the action that comes afterwards is Carla was the prom queen.
Yes, no, I know the movie too, but
I can see it and I don't have my list now to write it down.
Oh, it's that one where he's it's not going to come to my mind fast enough. Go ahead.
The Rock.
Yeah.
Did I see The Rock? No. I've seen it in passing. I just never clicked on it to watch it.
Now, The Rock was one of my favorite movies, like, of the 90s, I would say. And I remember it was the summer of my senior year of high school, I think. Like, after my senior year of high school when it came out. And I did not see a single preview for the movie before I saw it. I just had, like, a group of friends that said, hey, you want to go see this movie? It's called The Rock. And I'm like, I've never even heard of it. And they're like, oh, it's got Sean Connery and Nicolas Cage and Ed Harris in it, and they're in Alcatraz or something. And I'm like, okay. It was like the worst sales pitch ever for a movie. But like I had nothing else to do, so I was like, oh, I might as well just go see this movie. And I remember just loving it so much. And I think a lot of it had to do with I had absolutely no expectations, and I didn't even know what the movie was about at all, like, going into it. And, like, at the time, Nicolas Cage wasn't, like, he went on to do, like, action stuff after that, but he hadn't really done anything. I remember thinking to myself, this is an action movie and Nicolas Cage is in it? Like, what is happening right now?
See, now, you say The Rock. Mine is The Castle. With, I think it was Robert Redford.
Okay, yeah. Is that the World War II one or something?
No. This one, he's a general, and he made
it's like a war movie. Yeah, like a prisoner of war or something?
It's not prisoner of war. It's just like the prisoners are U.S. troops and stuff like that, but it's like, they're in the U.S. It's not like it's across seas or anything, across the ocean or anything like that. and he is a general who made a bad decision, and like a decorated general, like he was at the top of the top, and so he had to go and serve time for, you know, not like war crimes, but like going against like orders or something like that. So, you know, something like that. So he's stripped of his title. He's, you know, dishonorably discharged, but he's also put into prison. And so it's the commandant of the prison was he was the actor on The Sopranos. Who was the main character?
James Gandolfini.
Yes, So he was the commandant or the person in charge of the prison. And it turns out that, and it's a great movie. I mean, I don't want to ruin it, but it's I think it's called The Castle or something close to that. There might be one other word in there. I don't know. Last Castle, maybe. It might be something like that too. But fantastic movie, Robert Redford. Awesome movie to watch. So it's kind of going almost on the same thing, tiers to a degree, but instead it's like military. So I really enjoy that one. That's a good one. That was not on my list, but I was going to say the one thing I had on my list was leave the gun, take the cannoli.
Take the cannoli, which was
that
ad-libbed
was
also.
And never saw the movie, but I know that line.
It's a great line because again, the take the cannoli part was just off the top of his head. It wasn't actually in the script.
So
I'll hit you guys with two quick ones. I won't talk about them afterwards, but I'll just have you guys guess.
We're good at that.
"'Tis just a flesh wound,"
Monty Python,
of course, and "What's in the box?"
7.
Yes.
What was that one?
Chuck's never seen this one either.
7, with Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman.
Nope. Oh wait, yes, no, yeah, I did. I seen 7.
What's in the box?
I don't remember that though, but yeah, I did see that.
You don't remember? You've seen that movie? You don't remember? That's like the scene in the movie.
No, I don't remember that part. Shut up, Eric. Did I laugh at you?
Are you sure you made it to the end of that movie, Chuck?
No,
I may not have. Wait, yeah, no, they're in a they're like by some power wires and
Yeah, you definitely made it.
So I definitely made it there, but I didn't make it to that line.
And then what happened?
And then
Brad Pitt goes.
And then a delivery truck shows up.
And they all die.
No, that's not. It didn't happen.
That's okay. That's okay, everybody. It's okay, everybody. It's okay if you didn't see a movie. It's okay.
No, but you saw the movie though.
But you saw it.
Yeah.
But don't remember
Everybody,
the most important.
So it was a great show tonight. I want to thank our sponsor, Uncle Pete's Hand Sanitizer. Again, you can get it locally at the New Hartford NutriShop. Located over by the mall, well, just a little bit by the mall, kind of across the way from At Home and all that.
Go say hi to Brandon.
Yep, make sure you say hi to Brandon for us. Brandon, hopefully you'll get some sales out of this. Let us know if you do. But Uncle Pete's, hand sanitizer, I bet you is the best thing. I'm still going to go to that store. I'm going to go get some. I'm going to get the little one because, I got to find out about this stuff. I mean, we have Uncle Pete on every week, and he's such a big sponsor of ours that we got to take it. We got to back up Uncle Pete. But yeah, so. But the thing I'd like to do before we close out is I want to see if anybody's listening to this. I would love for you to get onto Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Let us know what your favorite movie quotes are. I mean, I'd love for even if you didn't let us know if you didn't like something we chose. I mean, it could have been my awesome cool runnings option, which I know was fantastic, or any of the others. But let us know what you guys think. We'd love to hear from you. If you have other ideas for topics you'd love us to discuss about, we would love to hear it. So please, reach out to us on all the social platforms, and definitely subscribe if you haven't yet, and share this with your friends, family, relatives, people you don't even like. You can share it with them too. If you don't like us, share us with them. We'll like them. So just make sure you get some people like us, and we thank you for listening and staying on this long. And Chris, Eric, anything else you want to add?
That's it.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
I don't know. I gotta go back and find out what was in the box now. So I'm gonna go do that. You guys, you're clear. You guys can go. I'm gonna go find out what was in the box, and I will let you know next week when I find out what was in the box. So
See ya.
See you later.
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah, we are fat.